At the beginning of the program, I alluded to overturning tables. For those of you who are readers of the scriptures, you might remember the story of Jesus overturning the money changers' tables inside of the temple on two separate occasions, at the beginning of his public ministry and then at the end. All right, Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, both of them are overturning the tables. And it's almost poetic that the two of them each won two primaries on Super Saturday, right? Trump is still leading almost by 100 delegates, but Cruz is showing some impressive staying power. I'll get to that in a minute. But let's just focus on the tables. Both Ted Cruz and Donald Trump consider themselves and are considered by the media establishment and, more importantly, by the Republican establishment. They are considered to be outsiders, insurgents. Dare I use the word? Revolutionaries. Or, to simply use the illusion, they are overturning the tables. Now, clearly, having the money changers' tables inside of Solomon's temple was disgusting. It was an abomination. It was so anti-religious, so unholy. But the power structure of that day in Jerusalem, the power structure, the establishment, had so corrupted what was going on that with a wink and a nod, and perhaps who knows who's getting something in return, the money changers went from being at the city gate to being outside of the temple, to being close to the temple, to being, well, just for convenience, in the temple. The priests knew it. The people who were in charge knew it. They were all involved in it at one level or another. And it certainly was not in the interests of the everyday man or woman of Israel. And as Jesus said, you've turned my Father's house into a den of thieves. It should be a house of prayer. You made it a den of thieves. The value of overturning the tables is to expose the evil, the treachery, the duplicity, the hypocrisy, to expose the fact that an elite are corrupted and are taking advantage of the average person who just wants to go about their business and come and pray and make a sacrifice at Solomon's temple. It shows the presence of those tables inside of the temple showed that the rules, what was right and wrong, did not matter as much as power and money. And that's what we have right now with the Republican establishment. They despise Donald Trump. They despise Ted Cruz, not because of their policies, not because of what they say. Virtually everything that Donald Trump and Ted Cruz is saying, if you take away the personalities, if you take away some of the expletives, if you put those words into the mouth of Jeb Bush, and he said them in a pensive way, policy issues, protecting the border, temporary ban on Muslims. If you took those things, marriage between a man and a woman, reigning in the Supreme Court, maybe restoring waterboarding to extract information from terrorists, if you took those policy positions and put them in the mouth of someone who was A, inside the establishment, and B, said them without the rancor that Trump has, and without the baggage of the anti-Mitch McConnell attitude that Ted Cruz has. Most of those positions, if not all of them, if they were said just right, except for maybe the Muslim one, most of those positions would be totally acceptable. It'd be like the money changer saying to the priest, we've got to get a new batch of doves in because some of these we may have a flaw in. Oh, okay, we'll look into it. Or musing aloud that perhaps we should change what we're doing just a little bit so it doesn't cause offense to the average Jew. The problem is that Cruz and Trump are not playing nice. It's the attitude that they have that enrages the establishment. And it's the fact that they are holding the establishment in the contempt that they have earned. And that's what Jesus showed when he overturned the tables. I mean, we don't know if he hit anyone with a whip. We know that it says that he made a whip and he had a whip. Maybe he cracked it. Maybe he hit people. The scriptures are silent on it. But we know that he upended the tables. We know that he exposed the corruption of the leaders of that day. And we know that the common people loved him. They loved him. And that's the issue with Ted Cruz and Donald Trump, is the average person who feels just discarded, ignored, run over roughshod by the power structure, by those with power and money or both, that we've had it. We've had it. And we love what Trump and Cruz are doing. Some people hate Trump, love Cruz. Some people love Cruz and hate Trump, or love Trump. I mean, you follow me. Or they love them both. But if you look at those who hate them both, these are not people that are motivated by principle or by policy. These are people that are clutching onto power and money as if it was the life rope of a drowning man, because they don't want their tables overturned. They want to maintain the status quo because it's what keeps them in their private jets and keeps them in their big fancy offices.